Hi, my name is Malinda. Some of you watching this may also know me as Cookie, and some of you watching this video may not even know me at all. But I really want to do this video because we're getting ready for Walk in Mess, and that's going to be April 24th at the RBC Center here in Raleigh. And we're contacting family, friends of friends, and I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, also known as MS, in August of 2008. So this is only my second year being a team captain, and some of the people that I'm contacting, this is the first time them learning that I have MS, and I get a lot of mixed reactions. One of the most common reactions I get is people are a little confused about it. They really don't know what MS is. When I was diagnosed, I really didn't even know what it was. I had an idea, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was. But I tell people all the time, I'm not one of Jerry's kids. We don't have a telethon. So people do get us confused with the Muscular Dystrophy Association. A lot of times people will apologize and, and say they're so sorry and, you look so well and all that kind of stuff. Well, I really appreciate it, and I don't want you to feel sorry for me. And there's really no need for you to apologize about me having MS unless you gave it to me. And if you gave it to me, yeah, I would want an apology. I want several apologies. But since you can't give anybody MS, that's not how you get it, you don't have to apologize. I think a lot of the confusion is, what exactly is multiple sclerosis? Well, MS is a chronic, often disabling disease of the central nervous system. That's your brain, optic nerves, spinal cord. Three major things that if something goes wrong, then hey, there's a problem. Well, there's 4 different types of MS. There's relapsing remitting, secondary progressive, primary progressive, and progressive relapsing. The type of MS that I have is relapsing remitting, and that's also what 85% of the people who are diagnosed with MS, that's what they're initially told the type of MS that they have. And what relapsing remitting means is that if you have an attack, or the technical term for it is exacerbation, where you're having some symptoms of the worsening neurological symptoms, or sometimes you may not even have the symptoms. The symptoms may be invisible. You may not even know that you're having an attack, and your nerves can be actually degenerating at that time, different parts, different functions of your body, depends on what it is. But with relapsing remitting, those symptoms or those attacks go into recovery, or what they call remission, and therein lies the term relapsing remitting MS. I know you're probably still saying to yourself, what exactly does that mean? Well, having MS means that you may wake up one morning and not be able to walk, not have control of your legs. You may wake up one morning and have impaired vision. You may wake up one morning and for a long period of time you may not be able to remember things. Your memory is not working the way it's supposed to be. I know you're saying, well, hey, that can happen to anybody. Yeah, it can, but this is directly caused by a worsening neurological function. About the memory part. There can be symptoms that the naked eye can't see, that you looking at me, you probably wouldn't be able to see it. An attack that I had was my feet went numb, my hands went numb, and you may be saying, that's no big deal. Numb hands, numb feet. Try walking on feet that you can't feel, legs that you can't feel. Try trying to grasp a pen. I couldn't grasp a pen, I couldn't type, I couldn't cook, I couldn't drive. So it really affected the quality of life that I had during that time. Luckily for me, they put me on a course of steroids, and I had to go to the hospital for 7 days for an injection at the same time every day, and those symptoms went away. Thank God, because they were annoying, very annoying. A little more about something about when you're numb. It's like there's to me, the feeling to me, and I don't know if it's going to make sense to you, it's like I had a little leg inside of a big leg that I could not feel. I don't know if you understand what I mean. It's sort of like when your foot falls asleep, but I could kind of like feel in the middle, on the inside of my leg, but not on the outside. It's weird, I know, but I'm glad that that's gone. A couple of facts about MS. There's about 200 people that are diagnosed with MS per week in America. About 400,000 people in America have been diagnosed with MS, and about 2.5 million people in the world have been diagnosed with MS. And that number can be more than that, but the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, does not make it mandatory for physicians to report all new cases. So it's very important that we continue to educate about MS, because right now the statistics show that there's one person every hour that's diagnosed with MS. So as you're listening to me and I'm talking to you, there's somebody being diagnosed with MS. And I'm sure that they're probably confused, you know, they may even be mad, because a lot of the times one of the first things that they tell you when you're being diagnosed with MS is that there is no cure. And in my case, when I was diagnosed, I'm like, what in the hell do you mean there's no cure? Give me a pill for this so I can move on with my life. But that's not the way it is. But I'm glad that I have it now, because 20 years ago, there wasn't any medication for MS. And if you had it, you were pretty much at the mercy of the disease. But now they have disease-modifying therapies, and what they do is slow down the progression of the disease. There's two types. They're both injections, shots, as you call them. One is intramuscular, and which means exactly like it sounds. You take the shot into a muscle. And the other is subcutaneous, which goes into the fatty tissue, which is the kind that I'm on. Neither one are any fun. The medication that I'm on is called beta-seron, and my doctor basically told me, your prescription is beta-seron. You take it every other day for the rest of your life. Wow, wasn't really excited about that, but hey, it is what it is. If it keeps me moving, that's what I'll do. So that's why it's very important to support causes like Walk MS and similar ones that support the research to find a cure, and also to improve the medications that we have now for MS. Today, a majority of the people that have MS don't become severely disabled. About 2/3 of them can continue to walk, but they may need some type of assistance like cane, crutches, and some may need a scooter or a wheelchair because of fatigue, weakness, balance problems, or even to assist with conserving energy. So these things show me that there's hope, and with organizations like the National MS Society, I have hope that I won't be in a wheelchair one day. You know, I have high hopes of that. So I really stand strong to, I have MS, but MS does not have me. So thank you so much for listening to what MS is like for me, just a little bit. If you want more information about MS, go to www.nationalmssociety.org. And if you would like to join the team for Walk MS, go to the Walk MS site on the website for National MS Society, and select the team Stiletto, Stompers, and Steel Toe Treaders. And go on my personal page on that site as well to see how we came up with that name. Thank you, and have a great day.